Okay, another brew report, man. Reporting live on the servants. Here where you gotta meet the servants. That's what the brew report about. When you meet the servants, and what we mean by the servants, we talking about a higher power, ones who serve a higher power. So this is on a higher frequency. Make sure you didn't just tuned in to the brew report thinking you just about to see some regular guys. All right, so we don't do the regular guys. We do the people who definitely perform on a higher frequency. They definitely give it up for the Most High. So y'all know on the brew report already, as y'all check the phenomenal went out last time. You know what I mean? Woo! They got a lot of attention. Got a lot of attention. All esteem to you. Who? Yeah, y'all know we don't on this particular, I don't introduce them in my name. I let them introduce themselves. So y'all let the world know who y'all is, y'all man.
Well, I'm Mysh Pot. Most know me as Burning Up Mysh.
Well, I'm Asis, y'all Sherrod. Y'all probably know me as YB Slim, and my brothers call me Cease.
Okay, so what we want to get into a little bit about, man, is just to open up for the people is tell us a little bit about yourself, you know, either it could go in the same order or y'all can switch the order up, you know, whichever one, just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you from, just a little bit that so they can get familiar with that part.
Well, I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I originated on the east side, but I did a majority of my growing up on the south side, South Fulton of Atlanta. Went to Creekside High School, graduated from there too, and I went to college at West Georgia.
Okay. And I was born in South Carolina, then I ended up moving to Atlanta when I was 5, and then I spent the rest of my years here in Atlanta. Growing up, went to school and everything here too. And just did all my growing up here in Atlanta.
Okay. So, you know, with this one, it's pretty interesting because the last one was, you know, you got the ex street cat, you know what I'm saying, who was out there running around, you know what I'm saying, that one. And this is truly could be the same story, but it's not because, you know, nowadays, the youth or brothers y'all age, or could y'all tell the people how old y'all are?
I'm 24, I'll be 25 in a couple months.
I'm 25.
24 and 25. So we see right now with 24 and 25 and more interested in the more, you know, moral sense, the morale. That is the prime thing y'all worry about in y'all life is sticking to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahuwah. So when, man, other 24, 25-year-old, that's far from their mind. You know what I'm saying? So this is real interesting because it's not, you know, when you dwell on the past of you all, it's not like enough time where you can say, yeah, man, I was last action hero, Rambo, I did all this, you know what I'm saying, jumped into this, jumped into that, you know what I'm saying, because it's really not enough time thinking both of y'all graduated high school, right? That's right. So that's around like 18, 19. And that leaves about like a little 6-7 year spread. And both of you went to college, like you said. So now it's really like, so now we get to see the life of two young men who actually did go a route of graduating high school, going to college, but still finding this. Now what people would think is, oh man, that's the old positive way. Them boys ain't have nothing going on. But see, they don't understand college life or being the peer pressure or being from certain neighborhoods. Like you said, you from the south side. And then Mysh Pot from the east side. Now, a lot of people are not familiar with those sides. You know what I'm saying? Because they like to, they partake like, oh, they just from right there, man. That ain't really going on. You know what I'm saying? But not knowing that it's a lot of pressure coming from them part because you could have been drawn into, you know, cause I'm sure like most of y'all friends and partners, you know, gang members and all these things and what could have avoided that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all avoided that. So this would make this interesting. You feel what I'm saying? Because y'all could have went that way and actually started to do y'all gifts in the world, and it would have been lucrative. Cause both of y'all do something that's very lucrative at the moment. You know what I'm saying? But I know we're gonna get into that. But this is you know, you know what I'm saying, them telling you a little bit about yourself, and I know this thing is in your own words. So it's like, what was the transition? What was the transition? What made y'all literally say, nah, I don't, forget all the party, forget all the peer pressure, forget all that, and actually consider this? What was the transition like? What was the mindset? What made you do it?
Okay. You wanna go from? Okay. See, what made me do it was one day, you know, we was all in a room and this video had came on. You know, we was just all in the room. The video had came on, and there was a brother talking about the chosen people of the Bible and things like that. So then the part that turned me into even looking into it and made me actually consider first was the fact that he was like, the ones who was brought in on them slave ships is the ones who match this requirement of the people who's chosen of the Most High. So I'm chosen of Yahuwah. So that's what made me actually start to consider. And then from that day forth, it was like just looking into it a little bit by a little bit. And then that's why I got to where I'm at right now.
Okay.
But like you said, with the partying and stuff going on, that's what made me actually consider based on everything that we was already doing. From throwing to different parties and kickbacks all throughout the week and things like that. It was the information that pulled me away from it.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, me, I actually seen that same video. And the way I came in like first on like the flat earth thing and like trying to be conscious, so quote unquote. But this one day, through a mutual friend that went to actually West Georgia with me and Pat. And she was on the phone, like I heard Pat in the background just talking, like saying like, telling her what to say and just like the things. So she ended up saying like she going on this route, you know, she found something new, like something about like be the chosen people. So me knowing, like seeing the video, I said, oh yeah, I heard he said we the people in the background, and I was like, yeah, we the real, we the Israelis. What I said the first time, but he corrected me. He corrected me. He was like, nah, yeah, we said we the Israelites. So he hopped in the camera, and I'm just like, oh, bro. And that's where it started. And then he told me to, it was right before the Shabbat, before I even knew about the Shabbat. He told me to pull up to Ak House, Daoud. So I pull up. First I'm like, my mind was just like, do you really want to pull up to go see? I'm just gonna take the leap of faith and to go see what he talking about. So I pull up and really just had a real interesting conversation. Like he'll tell you, like the first thing I said when I met him was like, dang, this old man smart right here. I seen the grades. Not knowing that he was like 34 at the time. So yeah, but that was the real like the transitioning point where I started to actually know who we was, like from a people standpoint.
Exactly. So it was a compare contrast for when y'all seen the video. It was like, okay, this talking about this, and I'm living this type of life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the wild party, we throwing the party. Y'all said y'all throwing the parties. So it's a different when you the influencer. You know what I'm saying? So now we already see what scale it was on. Not like y'all was influenced. Y'all was actually influencing. Come over here to the kickback. You know what I'm saying? We know what happens at the kickback. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
now, being at the peers and everybody that y'all was around, right? And y'all was the life of the party, right? They see not only was the transition difficult in that y'all was the life of the party and actually the ones throwing this thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what we looking at now. That's what they needed to see. It's like literally how how was it like just say, okay, once the video, I went to go check it out, get with that. Now you catching the backlash. No more parties.
But
No more pull up. how you stick with it. That way, how you stick with it. You know what I'm saying? Versus going back to that, because I know the jokes was about a millions.
No, they was roasting.
All my friends I knew, like, really, like you said, turned against me. They was like, nah, bro. So that I was at a basketball court one day actually arguing with all my homies that we just got done hooping. He was like, bro, we grew up in a Christian church, bro. Me and you went to church and everything, bro. He said, bro, I know you, bro, and all this. I'm just like, bro, but whatever we learned there, bro, it's false. But so it just turned everybody against me.
And with me, it was just like, when the separation started to happen, like, people turned against you, it was just like on some, I'm in the room, like, we all share an apartment, so every night, it's like it just kept continuing. So what I had to do was just like, start to stay in my room, but then it was like, it started finding its way to my room. A lot of crazy stuff, and I promise you, like, once the scripts happened, it was like, it started getting wilder and wilder, the stuff that was happening in there. So it was just like, dang, it's like, it seemed like a real test to see like what you gonna do. Because every night, and like literally every night, it was something going on in there.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, but then like you said, with the jokes and the roast and everything like that, because it was at a point in time when we was getting free pizzas and stuff, but full of swine, things like that. And it was just going crazy like that. But that was like, sometimes the only thing to eat. So the folks who was in there trying to do it with me at first, they'll be like, but bro, we gotta eat something, bro. So it was just stuff like that. So it was just like a real decision making. What you gonna do with your loyalty at?
Absolutely. So being that you go to college, right, you know that this is paid for by the parents. You know what I'm saying? Looking into it, want to get you a better education. And you just stumbled upon a video. Like, this how you came at them. Like, man, I just stumbled upon a video and we the people. And you trying to explain to them why, y'all, I don't want to do school no more. I want to do the law.
Facts. Oh, yeah.
How was that, like, to explain, man?
My man take it well at all, especially with that money talk with the school and things like that. Didn't take it well at all. That was a whole situation in itself too, but you just had to stand your ground with it, because they're gonna keep calling every day saying this, saying that. Like me, I stopped going to class and everything. I didn't go to class no more. Only thing I showed up for was to take my final, for real. Just because I was just like, everything was just like that, but I didn't even go to class no more, for real. So that had her mad too. She'd be calling me like, why you not going to school? I'm gonna come down there, this, that, and the third, but I just never went to class. Especially when I seen the scripture, like, the knowledge of this world is foolishness. I'm like, man, it say it right here, why I'm going to class for? Then I ain't telling me nothing. Because at that point, I think I was there doing mainly like sports management, just something to get, just pass the time.
Absolutely.
So that really wasn't nothing, so I just stopped going.
Absolutely.
Oh, with me, I actually, I left after freshman year. I actually left college with a 4.0 GPA, because I was like, man, this is boring. I don't want to do it no more.
But you see a lot of people that think, oh, that's not scriptorial, but you go, yeah, it is actually, because Abraham went to the school of Eber, and then came back to the land of Chaldea and tested all of the stuff that was there.
Yeah.
Just like we did. We sat down, or y'all sat down and actually said, no, I'd rather not go to a university. I'd rather go to a school like the school of Eber and learn the knowledge of the Father. And then y'all came back and tested it against the university knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So what did, we know you went to college and that was the case and through parties and whatever like this, but what was something that you did before the truth? You know what I'm saying? Like, personally, some personal aspirations, what you wanted to do before the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, with me, I had everybody young who actually athletic had hoop dreams. So me and my homie one day, he had got an email from this overseas coach from China, And it was supposed to link in like somewhere like that, try to play overseas, but we ended up deciding to stay in school. So everything that all fell apart. But I actually started like ever since I was young, I was a gamer. So I wanted to be like a streamer or a YouTuber, like a pro gamer. So at one point I used to be in Call of Duty when I was actually prominent at playing it. I was top 1,000 in Modern Warfare 3. Yeah, Modern Warfare 3, I was top 1,000. I was actually 19 in the world in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And I won a couple tournaments on Fortnite, and I was on the pro team for just a little bit.
Okay.
Facts. Man, my aspirations growing up, like my whole life, I played football all the way up to 9th grade. But maybe stopped playing in 9th grade is when I had got a little F in the class, and my mama took me off the team. And I was really in my bad about it, so I never went back to play no more. Cause I'm like, you let everybody get faster and stronger than me and everything like that. So I was like, I don't even want to play no more. So then after that, about my senior year in high school, I started getting into making beats. So then from that point, I just was looking at people who was major producers in the world, and I was like, that's what I'm trying to aspire to be, somebody like that, to work with the big artists and all that type of stuff like that. So that's the route I started to look into and started to go into. And then I ran into the truth. And then when I ran into the truth, that just what
Kept it going.
yeah, it kept it going, but I no longer wanted to work that way no more. But what was crazy was like certain offers and stuff would try to come from that type of way, like saying you can come and do this, come in here and do this, but it was after the truth. So it's just like on some, like, nah, I can't do that. Can't do that.
So was the truth presented any time before the time y'all say the video?
No.
So it was just straight when then. That's when it actually was brought up to you right then. Okay, so y'all know this one of my favorite parts of the Brew Report. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got to tell one of the most interesting encounters, one of the most interesting stories in this truth that you have encountered. How long y'all been in the truth?
This is going on my 4th year, coming on probably like, thinking like in April, May, going on my 4th year.
And I be going on 5 in like, November, I'm about to say like November or something,
5
around that
books.
time.
Okay. So, in this truth, I know, man, it's tons of miracles.
Facts.
So that's what keep you going. Is you can have faith so long, but when nothing happens, it tends to weigh on the faith. But when you got these miracles where like, man, it couldn't have been nothing but you. That's what make you go another 5 or 10.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So y'all can share with the people one of the most interesting miracles you done seen in this walk.
Okay.
Go ahead, Aki.
See, like, it's so many that I done ran into with my brother, so it's like, she's like, let me see. Does it matter, like, the time?
It doesn't matter the time.
Well, because I'm gonna leave that one. So I can mention one, like, right before I actually came to be around my brothers full time when I was down there at school.
Absolutely.
So it was one night, the same stuff going on. We all in a room and stuff like that. We just got done doing what we do. So I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go push up on somebody real quick. I'm just about to go over there and chill. So I get my stuff and I go over there. It's in the same apartment complex. So I go to the other building. We just in there, we chilling. And then next thing you know, I just hear. Then like 2 minutes later, somebody, well, no, I didn't say 2 minutes later. A couple minutes later, 12 pull up and everything. So they all out there. But then I get a phone call and they like, bro, 12 need you right here, right now, because they saying they need to know what's going on at the apartment. So basically what happened was, right after I left, somebody kicked the door in and went in there and robbed everybody and shot on their way out. But I had just left the apartment.
Sheesh.
I had just left the apartment. But then, like, at the time, I wasn't thinking much of it because I'm like, bro, what they want to do with me? I wasn't even there. But then when I would tell my brothers about the story and stuff, they was like, boy, only Yahusha got you up out of that thing. Like, oh, Yahuwah got you up out of that thing because, like, you just left. And then it started to hit me like, yeah, I just left. And I was like, And I know what I would have did if it would have been like that. I probably would have been going like, it wouldn't have went like that, something like that. But thank you, nobody lost their life in there or nothing like that though.
Absolutely, all the
Because
same.
we would have just went there. That would have been crazy. Man.
Oh yeah, sheesh.
That thing was crazy though. Still think about it to this day.
I think one of the wildest things I done seen, like just walking with my brothers. Like, remember we was in Orlando, and because I know that they had. So from my perspective, how I seen, we was at an event, and I know my brother Dab, he had seen a storm coming, and we at the event, and we just looking around, just seeing what's going on. It's just like not organized or nothing. So something come in my mind was like, I look at my camera lens, and I'm like, need to wipe it off. So I run back to the car and get my little eyeglass cleaner and start to wipe my little camera off. So I happen to just look to my left, and I just seen like, I couldn't even see like a storm, like the storm that was coming. It was so thick that I couldn't even see it. Like I couldn't see what was going on, and nothing like a hurricane or like a baby tornado just finna come through. So in my mind, like at the time, I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. So I'm like,
he needs some
never been
milk.
through a hurricane or like a tornado before. So I'm just like, all right, just prepping my mind for it. So next thing you know, it like the water just hit the window. I can't see nothing going on. But all I do, I see Dab and I see Pot just come out the water, just jump through. And everybody, he get in the car, he was like, what's these? And he look in the back, I'm right here. And so the thing is, I had on sandals and everything. So I'm just like, I knew I wasn't gonna be able to run or nothing like in that weather like that. And then we was down a hill and it was muddy and everything. So I'm just like, that had to been like, the father was just like, yeah, go to the car because I'm finna mess this whole little thing up. So that was one of the craziest things I've seen. And then we went to the gas station. 15 minutes later, it's back sunny. So I'm just like, sheesh.
So you just seen it tear everything up.
I'm talking about everything. And hearing my brother's point of view of the story, I'm just like, yeah. I don't know how I would have got back to the car without being like muddy and all that. I know I would have slid down the hill we was parked at.
In them slips and dips.
So I was just like, yeah, I had to say all those things to Yahuwah because I know he the only one who will plant that idea in my mind to actually go back to the car.
Absolutely. So, what do y'all do now that y'all in the truth? What is the contribution y'all make towards the cause? Of righteousness or Yahuwah's kingdom.
Okay.
What do y'all do for that?
Okay. Like we was talking about earlier, like we talking about the aspirations and all that.
Absolutely.
So everything that I do now, it was nothing inspired, nothing like back when I was doing back in the world.
So this is only Yahuwah inspired.
This is only Yahuwah. So I
That's
know,
right.
like even like down to the name that I chose, like with the company name Yahuwah Vision YV. That's what YV actually means. Yahuwah Vision. It was always inspired off like my brothers always inspired things. So even like the photography, you inspired the name. Because Yahuwah Vision,
that's a different site.
That's where I actually got the name from. So, and a lot of people don't know I've only been doing this for like, I've been taking pictures for 2 years now. I've been doing videos for 1. Mm-hmm. So I got all the things to Yahuwah because everything's inspired from Yahuwah. So I can't take no credit for nothing. So what I do is, like I said, the video photography, and I do graphic art now, logos, flyers, everything that's graphic designs. I do I try to help out my brothers as much as I can in the areas that I can help out in.
And also with that, we're on that side of it. We like trying to bring out just help with the righteous productions and things like that, as he said, with the Burn 'em Up productions. Just try with righteous productions, but we also do the Wave 613, where we put out righteous content. We try to keep like inspiring righteousness to people our age in ways that they probably can get it and understand it, and try to present it in a way to make it look like a decent way for them to just want to get into it and look into it.
That's real dope. See, and that's what I was saying, like, which bring me back to the idea, because people think you gotta come from the gutter just to have a real testimony. And it's literally like when you look at Moses, one of our greatest, you know what I'm saying, one of the greatest people that ever walked this earth. You know what I'm saying? He was actually raised in Pharaoh's house as a prince. You know what I'm saying? And chose his people over the riches of the world. See, that's just what it is. He grew up as a prince, so you know he ain't had nothing at all. So then once he chose the walk, he actually had to start over from zero, just as y'all did. You know, just because a person have this type of life where it seems that it's pretty good at first, because you know, growing up with your parents, them taking care of things, sending you to a good school, and that y'all said, nah, I don't even want all that. I don't want that. I want this. Which is noble, because you have to, it gives you a sense of, I got to earn it for myself. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that the help is not appreciated. It's just earning it for yourself gives you a different type of feel. You know, when you can say, this is something, an accomplishment that I put my hands in. You know, so I put my hands in the soil to achieve this. You know what I'm saying? So to see you come from gaming and all that stuff, and so to be housed, as people say it, oh, I don't vote with housed.
Shelter.
Yeah, shelter.
That's right.
Yeah, in ways, a lot of us we just rebelled. You know what I'm saying? Like, you say with anybody's story, it's only because they was out there now. Except it's some exceptions. You know, some people, parents and stuff wasn't in the best shape. You know, substance abuse, different things. They were taking away the system, different things like that roll around. So we're not looking at that particularly, because that's a different situation. But then you have others who just denied the counsel of their parents. Dropped out of school when the parents said, hey, go to school, do this. But it did keep y'all away from a lot of unnecessary troubles. You know what I'm saying? That could have wasted your time. Now it's so to look at it to be like, okay, the law said from the top, obey your mother and father, obey your father and your mother. You know, you're doing that. As you see the rich young ruler. He said, I did this from birth. So you see all these stories in here, and then Mashiach even told him, you gotta go sell everything you got and then follow me. He couldn't give it up. He actually walked away sad. See, y'all dropped it. Now, if you probably had something to sell off, I don't know. Let's thank you who you probably didn't have nothing to sell off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you went to school to try to get everything, earn everything. You know what I'm saying? And then you picked this over the aspiration you had in the world. That's very noble. We said, as I was saying many times in the scriptures, even with some of the more prominent people in the scriptures, they picked that. You know what I'm saying? Look at David. He was a shepherd, or like they call it, sheep herder. Just taking care of his father's sheep and cattle in the house. Everybody else wanted to be army and soldier, and and you see Yahuwah picked the sheep herder. Yeah, the one who wanted to follow the instructions of his father. You know, do the right thing. Yeah, sometimes we just run into unnecessary things, but that's cool for everybody to know that you don't have to go through that type of life to get, you know what I'm saying, to have an interesting testimony. You know what I'm saying? So nobody should be ashamed of their testimony, because it's the truth. Because you never know who this is going to touch. You feel what I'm saying? So what are some of the future moves? You know, with the talent that I say have, like you shooting the videos and the digital, you know what I'm saying, digital design, burn them up with the beats. What is the future moves with this to empower Yahuwah's kingdom?
Just, I don't know, create more content that can reach people our age, and even people who that's older than us too. We get a lot of feedback from like a lot of the older people saying that we are funny and all that, and they like the content, so keep going. So that's some good words, positive words to keep us going and all that. And I know we got a couple of like sketch projects coming up, like trying to shoot like a documentary, like a little movies, the told fellas, y'all probably seen it.
Fast.
But yeah, we got a lot of some things that you just gotta work out when it happen, like in its right time.
Absolutely.
Facts, and like you said, future moves, just continue building up for your hood. Looks like you see everything in the world they got set up, things that support the world. We just trying to build up and set up for your hood so we can build up and support your hood. Just continue with bringing out his righteousness and continuing in that.
Okay, so to all the brothers, your peers, to anybody, even the older one, because this inspires you know what I'm saying, this inspired the older ones too, because some people come from a shelter, so-called sheltered life too, and they get, even as older brothers and sisters, they get picked at too. He Poindexter. You don't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna listen to that. What are some encouraging words you can give, you know, those, you know, to all those who came from your same background? What are some encouraging words y'all gonna give them? Because y'all actually in the works. So you have to be able to encourage others too. Even though as they encourage you, you have to be able to encourage back. So what are some encouraging words which you give someone actually coming from the college life, giving up that for this, so that they don't feel so down on themselves, and encourage them to do another year or two, so that miracle can be seen by them as well.
But like as you just said, like don't be ashamed of your testimony, because that's where you started from. Because in Yahuwah's eyes, we all started at a low state. No matter where you started from, it's from a low state. So the only thing you could do is go up from there in Yahuwah's righteousness by doing His law. So those are encouraging words I got.
Absolutely.
I mean, don't ever doubt Yahuwah. I know He can do it all. Don't ever think that He can't do something for you. As long as you're doing what He say, He'll come through for you. You got to be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and actually doing what He tell you to do, and keeping that good integrity, like doing the right things when somebody not looking at you. If you can do those things, then you can definitely get blessed.
Fast.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate y'all young men definitely coming to be on this Brew Report, man. Appreciate it, man. Pleasure, man. That's right. Make sure y'all tune in to the Brew Report for more exclusive interviews.